Welcome to Hope's Homemade Kitchen. Today we're doing a super easy yet comforting and delicious vegetable beef stew. Now I've been making this kind of stew for years and I love it because all you need to do is prep it and it cooks on the stove for a few hours. Or you could use a crock pot or even an instant pot. And it's so delicious. Let's get started and I'll show you the ingredients. Now for this stew, I'm using like a 3 to 4 pound chuck roast. So to go with that, you'll need 3 or 4 carrots. I'm just going to peel and chop them into pretty good sized chunks. This is going to be more of kind of a stew rather than a soup, meaning it's going to have like thicker broth, almost gravy-like consistency. And just cut those however big you like, kind of in hearty, larger style pieces. Same with your celery, just cut them in the size you like. For my potatoes, I'm using kind of the mixture of new potatoes, and I'm using about 1.5 pounds. I'm going to leave the skins on because they have very thin skins. For my onion, I'm just going to dice it up into pretty good sized pieces. Okay, I've just got 3 or 4 pretty good sized cloves of garlic. Just going to give that a rough chop. I have a 3-pound chuck roast that I've cut into pieces. I'm just going to season them with salt and pepper. This is where I season pretty generously. Just give it a good mix. If you have gluten-free folks that'll be eating this, you can skip this step and then thicken it later with a cornstarch slurry. I like to coat mine in all-purpose flour and seasoning and then lightly fry it, and it'll help with the thickening and also give it a nice good crust. So I'm going to coat it, kind of shake it off and put it on another plate. Now if I were doing more of a vegetable soup with more of a tomato base, I would skip this flour dredging step. It doesn't have to be thick coating, just enough to give them a little crust. So all in all, I used probably about 1/3 cup of flour. Okay, we're going to go over the stove and fry this up in batches. Okay, I've turned the heat up to medium-high. And the reason you want to cook it in batches is so you don't crowd the pan. If you crowd the pan, it won't brown properly, kind of resulting in you steaming the meat rather than browning it. See, it has a little crust on the bottom. That crust is going to give it some good flavor. Once it has some crust on, just remove it to a bowl. And continue until it's all done. Now, the trick is just to kind of let it set on one side until it has enough time to develop that crust. That's kind of what the bowl looks like with the nice crusty pieces in there. Okay, once that last batch has some crust, just go ahead and remove it. And now we're going to add in a little bit more oil. I'm going to go ahead and add in our onions. Just stir that around, scrape the bottom. Get all that nice flavor. Okay, once they start to turn translucent, you can go ahead and add in your garlic. I'm going to cook that for a minute, just until that garlic starts to become fragrant. I'm going to add in my carrots and celery. Now I had a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste left over from a can. I stored the remaining in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer. Now I'm just going to add that in. Just allow it to brown a little bit. You don't need much of that. It'll give a lot of flavor. Okay, now I'm going to add in my 6 cups of beef broth. A couple tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. About a teaspoon of dried rosemary. A couple of dried bay leaves. Give that a stir. Go ahead and add in my potatoes. And then put your beef in. I'm going to bring this to a light boil and then turn it down to low, and then we're just going to cook it for about 90 minutes to 2 hours until that meat is nice and tender. Now I'm not using red wine, but you could certainly use red wine in this recipe. I would just add it when you add your beef broth. Now the only other ingredient that we have left is our peas, our frozen peas that we'll be adding at the end once the stew is nice and cooked. We'll just add it in the last 10 minutes or so before we serve it. Okay, I can see it's starting to boil around the edges. I'm going to turn it down to low. We'll put the lid on and this will simmer for up to 2 hours. Okay, now the vegetable beef stew is done. It's been simmering for about 2.5 hours and it's thickened on its own. Now if yours is not thick enough, you could certainly do like a cornstarch and water slurry, equal parts. I would just start with a little bit, let it cook, then you can thicken it in that way. I'm going to remove these 2 bay leaves and then add in the frozen peas. And it'll only take a few minutes for those peas to cook. You'll want to taste it for seasoning. Add in some additional seasoning. I'm going to add in a little bit more pepper, just a dash of salt. And we'll let it simmer a few minutes until those peas cook. Then we'll do a taste test. Okay, now for a taste test of this wonderful vegetable beef stew. Oh yeah, this is good. That beef is so tender. The stew is the perfect thickness. So just the flour that I used in browning the chuck roast pieces in those potatoes, it really combined as it cooked and made a wonderful, wonderful stew. Thank you so much for joining me today as we made vegetable beef stew. Check out some of my playlists. I have a soups and salads playlist, what's for dinner, breakfasts, and desserts, along with a few others. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't done so already. We'll see you next time.